Hi, nerds! So, day 2 is over! Yay! The presentation has been presented! Yay! Nothing caught on fire! Yay! Lots to celebrate today. So, this morning, I apparently missed some really interesting stuff at the APRA talks thing this morning. It's a version of, it's kind of APRA's own version of the TED Talks. And apparently David Robertson from Syracuse University brought a guitar and burst into song, and I missed it, and I'm just impressed and feeling regret and things like that. So the other sessions that I went to today were about, there was the one in the morning that was about corporate and foundation relations. That was presented by Michelle Hain from the University of Minnesota Foundation. And I don't think, so going into this, I already thought that doing corporate and foundation prospecting was very difficult and labor intensive, and I still think that. In fact, I might think it more now. I'm still very interested in it. It's just very, it's now somewhat intimidating. One of the things that I wish had been mentioned in it was so much of the focus that Michelle had was on very large corporations and very large foundations. And that was good. It's a good place to start because there's a lot of publicly available information. But small or even smaller local companies can be really good prospects too. And I would really love to see a session from someone at some point with experience in corporate and foundation relations to give a presentation about working with smaller companies and smaller foundations. So then I had a lovely poolside lunch with my mother. She got me a muffaletta, and it was so good. Oh my God. And then it was time to present. So my co-presenter, Mirabai Auer, and I did a session called Using Data Analytics to Uncover and Identify Prospect Interests. And this was based on a collaboration that our two teams did, me in prospect research and her in data analytics. We collaborated on a project to find, to use text mining and other kinds of statistical analysis to find prospect interests. And we, from there, worked on ways of turning that into sort of actionable data. And this was the very first session that I did that was recorded. So hopefully it all turned out okay and may be available on the APRA website at some point. So after I had sort of breathed for a while, I went to Armando Zamaya's presentation on using events as a prospecting tool. And that was actually sort of hilariously convenient because it was in the same room as the room I was presenting in. So I sort of walked out and then sort of walked back in again. And Armando is totally a character. His presentations, I saw him present at APRA Illinois a few years ago, and he is so entertaining and just has so many good stories and great advice. And it was a really nice way to sort of end the day. And then that night was two things, two sort of extracurriculars happened that night. One was that all of the Midwestern APRA chapters had a happy hour at the 21st Amendment bar in the French Quarter, and that was really great, although very crowded. So most of us were sort of standing outside with our drinks, which was nice but sweaty. And also after that was the University of Chicago sort of all-team dinner, where all 9 million of us who were at APRA descended upon the Bourbon House and had an amazing dinner. Oh my gosh. And my mother befriended all of my coworkers. And might be starting up a business with one of our associate directors. And Oh no, it was a good day, but I am now ready to relax and not doing anything. And that not doing anything also apparently includes showering because there is a boil water advisory in New Orleans right now. So we actually don't have any clean water coming from the taps. There's something about a brain-eating bacteria or something. Anyway, I'm gonna stick with wine, and hopefully I'll be fine. There's a rhyme. This is, I think, a sign for me to stop talking. Good night, nerds! Last day of the conference tomorrow.